All right, we are still drying out from a very soggy summer. Some folks still dealing with very big problems related to all that rain.
Well, when it rains, it certainly pours, and one community, particularly in Norfolk, still feeling the effects. Locally based Operation Blessing and volunteers from Home Depot have come together to give some homeowners there a helping hand. So we use this effort as an opportunity to get a lesson from our handyman to the rescue on flood damage and what needs to be done to get homes livable once again. So often in these Handyman to the Rescue segments, we focus on home improvement. Today, actually, we're focusing on home reconstruction. We're here with Wayne Listo from Home Depot in the Spartan Village section of Norfolk, where just a few weeks ago, the rains brought flooding that brought water into the home, and that's causing real problems.
Right. Today, actually, the Home Depot is out here with Operation Blessing to look at helping some of the residents here in the Spartan Village area that have a real severe problem. In Norfolk or in the Hampton Roads area, we often get severe rains from things like nor'easters or just seasonal changes. You can probably see just where the water actually came up to. The water line still has some stuff on the wall that it's left behind, and as you look at the drywall, you can see that the drywall is actually buckling. It's actually rotting beneath here, and it has to be removed. So I'm going to go ahead and score the area. And actually, this is cutting rather easily for drywall because...
It looks like it's still wet.
That's correct. This is a little bit damp still, and that makes the drywall a lot easier to remove. In fact, as you see me coming at the bottom, you see that it's actually disintegrating. And as you see, I can actually push my hands through it. This is not what we normally consider drywall to look like. You can see some areas where we are seeing mold growth. We do see water on the insulation on the inside of the wall.
So does that mean that once you pull out the drywall, you actually have to replace the insulation as well?
We're going to have to replace all of those materials.
In a case like this, would you suggest that a homeowner take this project upon himself or herself?
A homeowner could, but realistically a job like this is going to not only be a very difficult and lengthy project, but it's also going to have a lot of emotional buy-in to it.
We've moved on to another flooded out home in Spartan Village here in Norfolk, and we know for sure that there's mold.
That's correct. In this location where we are, we've already been doing some demolition in this home, and you can see where the drywall and paneling has been removed up about 2.5 feet from the bottom. This had flooded up to about the window in this home, and they had to remove other sections. You can even see where the exterior of the house has some crumbling and such. We're going to go ahead, might be a little difficult for TV for them to see us talking, but we're going to go ahead and put on some personal protection gear and put on some masks so that in case the mold is here, it doesn't pose as much of a health hazard to us. What's going to happen is they've gone through the electrical fixtures and verified that everything is okay. The next thing that will be involved is they're going to actually replace drywall in all of the areas, and then very similar to what we showed on our drywall repair segment, they're going to make it seamless by applying a tape and a mud to make things go ahead and look like a brand new home. In this instance, though, the paneling may not actually be able to be matched, so the paneling maybe have to be removed entirely. We're down to the slab of this building. They've actually removed a couple of layers of vinyl or carpet that were actually in this room, and now we're just down to bare concrete. It is kind of devastating to say, Cheryl, but literally in this home, they're starting from the ground up. And so many communities are dealing with it now and have dealt with this situation, and I mean, it's just kind of an eye-opening thing, at least for me. So it's not your traditional handyman to the rescue segment. We're not helping people fix up their home, just showing all of us the kind of damage that others are dealing with right now.
At least there is a way to fix it, and it takes you back to the way homes are built in the first place to allow for drywall to come, to be replaced if it has to. And it also draws to light, the importance of knowing whether you're in a flood zone, and that particular neighborhood had not flooded like that before, but to know if you're in a flood zone, to know if you can get insurance so that if you need somebody to come in and do that kind of extensive work, you get a little help with the expense.
Well, Wayne touched on it a little bit, but the cleanup to flooding is a pretty involved process, and once you strip that wood that you saw, you have to treat the areas left behind with a bleach solution, seal it, and then test for moisture in the studs. The process to help these Norfolk residents, by the way, with Operation Blessing and with Home Depot is still underway.
All right, good to know folks are getting out there to help them out.